What is up, guys? This is Drew from Moonwalks, and today we are just going to talk about one of the aspects of starting a bounce house rental business. So I don't want this video to be too long. I'm a little under the weather, so if I sound nasally, I'm sorry for that. My toolbox is in the back of the CRV, so if you hear a little squeak every now and then, or for the whole video, I do apologize. There's nothing I can do about that, but I wanted to make this video so I can get it out of the way, so I can start to help you guys start your own bounce house business if that's what you're looking to do. Now, disclaimer, regulations are different for every state. We have 50 states. Texas, with the great state of Texas, I love living here. It's great. There's tons of stuff that I could make a whole video about Texas, but don't want to go into too much detail. Rambling on, aren't we? No. So in Texas, we're one of the most pro-business friendly states that there is. So my restrictions are most likely going to be a lot more lax than some other guys. New York, California, all those commie states, whatever. So just keep that in mind. Everything I'm telling you is tailored with the state of Texas in mind. You always need to double check. Excuse me. You always need to double check your rules and regulations and stipulations and all that good stuff before you get started. Now, there's 3 categories that you need to focus on, in my opinion, to get started. You have the business side, which is the one we're going to be talking about today. Then you have the website, which is going to be another video. And then you have advertising, which is going to be another video. Now, there's that squeaking I was talking about. Sorry. All 3 of these categories they kind of Venn diagram into each other on certain aspects, right? So I'm going to try to highlight those aspects as best as I can. But again, this video is going to be tailored specifically to the business side of it, right? So getting into it, what do you need to start a bounce house business from the business aspect? Well, there's 4 things, at least here in Texas. You need your LLC, you need to have your units insured, you need to have your units inspected, and then the 4th thing is evading. And the 4th thing is a bank account, right? So let's get you started. Let's get you set up. First thing you need to do is file for your LLC. That is going to separate your personal assets from your business assets. So in the sad event that you get sued for whatever reason, probably not your fault, you're going to be able to protect your personal assets from being a part of the settlement if you would have been found guilty or negligible or whatever the stipulation is, right? So that's the first thing you want to do. Me personally, I can recommend InkFile. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't pay me. I have no contact with anyone from InkFile and that type of realm. I'm simply someone who used InkFile to file my LLC for my business, and it worked perfectly. All you have to do is go on and fill out an application. They have a couple of extra things you can add on that they will do for you if you want to. That's what I did. Mine came out to about $425. But if you want to bare bones start out, just get your business up and running, $300 gives you the state filing fee, and then InkFile files it for you. InkFile is really doing it for free if that's the route you go, right? InkFile is just like a third party because they're just taking your information, making it all nice and neat, and then sending it to the state for $300. But if you want to get some other services like I did, you can always do that. So that's the first thing. All right, so now you got your LLC. In my opinion, the first thing you need to do after you get your LLC is get your business bank account going, your checking account for your business, right? There's a lot of different banks. There's a lot of different options. There are big banks. There are transnational banks. There are credit unions. There are online banks. Those are your 4 main categories. Which one do you want to go with? That all depends on what is going to be best for your business. What was best for Drew at Cosmic Moonwalks was to start off with an online bank that didn't have a lot of fees, hardly any fees whatsoever, and I had unlimited transactions with my business account. That's what worked best for me. I always recommend that you do your own research. And doing your own research does not mean you look around for 30 minutes on the internet, kind of get an idea of what you're looking at, and then you just pick one. That's not doing research. Doing research is putting in at least 10 to 15 hours of information diving, looking at all the different possible things that you could possibly come up with or get into when it comes to your business bank account. So do your own research when it comes to that, right? So now we got our LLC, and then we got our bank account, right? Now what's next? Assuming that you have your units already, right? Which you want to go ahead and do after you get your business bank account. Have all that set up so when you go to make your purchase, it comes out of your business bank account, because it makes it easier for you down the road when you're dealing with taxes on a business and personal level. So you already have your units. You need to get them insured and you need to get them inspected, right? The inspection cannot take place until after you have them insured. So just like with the bank account, do your research. Some of the places I reached out to were trying to use my inexperience in this industry as a means to tell me that there was higher risk involved and it would cost me a lot more money, right? So they quoted me thousands of dollars more than some of these other insurers had quoted me, which is insane. So again, understand your restrictions and regulations and stipulations from a legal aspect from the state. So in Texas, the way that our devices and units are classified, I have to have $1 million policy to cover my units, right? That's going to change based on what state you're in, right? There's that squeak. Sorry. Once you understand what your restrictions and policies are, or at least to be in line with the state, then you want to start shopping around for your insurance, because then you know you're not going to get shafted. They're not going to add anything extra that you're really not going to use, or you're not going to need, or probably not going to need. You know what I mean? Again, you want to do your research. I found a great company. They gave me a great policy for relatively cheap, in my opinion, to some of these other places that were trying to quote me thousands of dollars for a 12-month policy. It was insane. I didn't even respond back to the email, which is not professional. But I'm like, you're not going to insult my intelligence by trying to take advantage. My goodness, a lot of shaking. By trying to take advantage of me in this situation, right? So once we get our insurance done, then we can do our inspections, right? If you go to Facebook, there is a group called Party Rental Knowledge. Go in the search bar, type up inspections. It's one of the first 3 posts. Look on there. Someone posted a list of all of the inspectors by state, I believe. I know I found a lot in Texas. Hopefully it wasn't just tailored to Texas, because obviously that wouldn't help a lot of you guys out. But that's a good place to start to get your units inspected. And once you get inspected, you're going to be ready to go. You're going to be ready to set up shop. From a legal standpoint, from a corporation standpoint, right? So let's recap. You filed your LLC. You got your business assets separated from personal assets, right? The second thing was to get your business bank account. You did your research. You found a great business bank account that's going to fit you and your business, and that's what you want to go with, right? Boom. So we have our LLC, we have our bank account, and then we're going to get our insurance, right? We're going to do our research again, and we're going to get a great insurance policy that's going to cover all of our units and everything that we have to offer our customers, right? Once you have your insurance, then you get your inflatables inspected and any other devices you might have, like a mechanical bull or a dunk machine or anything like that. Once you get that inspected, then you are set up to go from a business side, right? Now, before we talked about the 2 other categories, which were website and advertising, right? And again, those kind of go hand in hand, etc., with the business. Little Venn diagram thing I talked about, which we're going to get into once we get into these other videos with these other aspects. So thank you guys for sticking with me for this long. I apologize for the squeaking. It's driving me insane, more insane potentially than it is you guys. But yeah, so that's how you want to get started on the business side. And again, you always want to check your state limitations and restrictions and stipulations and all that good legality stuff, right? So once again, thank you guys very, very much for getting this far in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. If you have any questions, I'm on my computer every day with my business. I'd have no problem answering any of your questions. Thank you so much, and peace.